morning. It's San Diego Comic-Con 2018. This is JeanBookNerd you're watching. It's Saturday morning, and we are here with Sherrilyn Kenyon, the writer of the Dark Hunter series. Good morning, Sherrilyn.
Good morning.
How much sleep have you gotten? Be honest. It's day 3 of this monstrosity that we call San Diego Comic-Con. You doing okay?
Yeah, no sleep whatsoever.
No sleep whatsoever. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for sitting down with us. It was a bit of a hectic morning ourselves getting over here. We just want to ask you a few questions about your new series. JeanBookNerd has done the PR for Deadman Walking, which is her brand new series. What can you tell us about Deadman Walking?
Well, it's pirates, it's demons. It's a lot of fun. It's a spin-off series from the Dark Hunters, but it takes place a few centuries before. It's set during the golden age of piracy, so it's a lot of fun, a little different. So yeah,
that's fantastic. During the golden age of piracy. So is this like a high fantasy hybrid series? Is it like in its own fantasy world, or is it like actually set in Earth? Or
it's part of Earth. Unleashed demons. They're coming out of hell gates, and so we've got these really sinister versions of hell chasers who have to go out. They're called Deadman, so they're having to go and corral them back in. In the first book, the hero of the novel, it's his ex-wife, so there's a whole nother layer of we got the only person mean enough to put her back in is her ex-husband. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, I need to pick up your book. That sounds fantastic. So you just released the second one this year, which is Death Doesn't Bargain. What can you tell us about that?
In that one, I actually get to go a little more in depth with the West Indian traditions and their folklore, which is really kind of cool. Like their mermaids are male-based, which as opposed to the European where they're female, and most people don't know that.
So it's a patriarchal society.
Oh yeah. So it's very, very cool and very different than what we're used to. And in the third book, I really get to go in depth with the West African lore and the Caribbean lore in a way that really no one's really too much explored.
I really love that, actually. So what kind of, obviously you're doing research on African lore and Caribbean lore, right? What sort of things have you found, or what really interests you about that?
Well, I grew up, my mother's best friend was a Gullah Woman, and so a lot of people don't know much about it because I'm from Georgia, and it's kind of like this little niche that people don't explore very often, they don't know a whole lot about. So it's kind of like an honor to be able to bring it more to the mainstream light so that people can learn about it, and a lot about, they have some really fun beliefs, well, not fun, but interesting beliefs that just people don't know about, and it's a beautiful culture, and I'm just trying to bring honor to it and respect to it so that people can learn and just show it. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, you said you grew up in Georgia. How did growing up in Georgia influence your writing? I mean, everyone starts somewhere. Where did you know that, hey, I'm probably going to be a storyteller, I have something here? It started with Dark Hunter, yeah?
Well, it started with the League series.
Okay.
Being Southern, we all tell stories, honey. That's what we all do. I caught a minnow, but somehow that minnow's like the size of my dick.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just, if you ever want a good story, ask somebody for direction. Jay, we're going to get you lost, but you're going to enjoy that trip. Yeah. It's just, it's something I always wanted to do. The first thing I did as a little kid before I could write words on paper, I was drawing, comic strips, and yeah, it's what I always wanted to do.
When did you start writing your first story that would develop into your first published work?
When I was 8 years old. Yeah, I wrote a story about a girl who killed her brothers and got away with it. Which is great now because I hold it over my brothers' heads.
Yeah.
The Damons and the Dark Hunters. Yeah. One of the boys I grew up with was named Damon. Yeah. So I've turned him into a villain forever.
That's amazing. And it's amazing to see authors who stuff from their childhood and their teen years absolutely carries over into their writing. What made you want to write under the pseudonym Kinley Macgregor?
Well, I didn't want to. What had happened was I had 4.5 years where I couldn't sell dog food to a dog kennel, or Alpo to a dog kennel. When I finally was able to come back into it, my editor was like, "Have you ever considered a pseudonym?" And because I was raised with a Gullah Woman, I'm like, my name is cursed. So sure, I'll do a pseudonym. And I'm obviously Scottish ancestry. So yeah, I chose a good pseudonym and came back under that for a while. Yeah. And then ironically, it took me a little over a decade to sell the first Dark Hunter novel. I'd been trying all along, and when my editor, she's like, well, you had 6 really great bestsellers under Sherrilyn Kenyon. Would you like to do your real name again? I went, It's cursed.
Why do you think it's cursed?
Well, yeah, I had 6 bestsellers, and then the career went downhill, and nobody for 4.5 years nobody would buy anything. So yeah, no, I really do. I believe in omens and such. I'm like,
Oh my
no.
goodness.
So yeah, and when they wanted to bring it back, I'm like, maybe God was telling me something. But ironically, Kenyon ended up being the bigger success. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you have? I know. So a lot of books are getting turned into like movies and television series and stuff nowadays. Do you have anything in the pipeline possibly in those avenues? Like, can you talk about it or?
They've been working on it for gosh, we're almost on a decade now. They've been working on it.
Just a
So
lot of
yeah.
talk.
Well, it's in development. So
Got it.
eventually,
Yes.
knock wood,
Yes.
any time now. Yeah, we've got a director. So it's in the works. It's just they're very slow.
Is that now? Which series is that one for?
They're doing Dark Hunter, Chronicles of Nick, and The League is being scripted. So
That's amazing. I know, and those things, being in the industry, all those things take time. It's like, oh yeah, we'll do it. 2 years later, hey, by the way, we finally got it done. it takes forever. I understand that. What makes writing great for you? What gets you in that zone and that you just go, yes, this is where I need to be?
I work in my pajamas.
Yeah.
You know, I get to work at night, which is, the last time I got to do it, I was in radio. So, and I don't have to run downstairs to the bathroom. Yeah. Everything. I get to play in my head. I get to play with imaginary people, talk to myself, everything about writing.
All the crazy things.
Yeah.
Before writing paid the bills, what other careers were you in?
Gosh, I did radio.
Yeah.
I did some of everything. I did retail. Oh my gosh, what did I not do? I worked construction, which,
Wow.
yeah, I know. That was not fun in Georgia. You don't ever want to have to sit there and shovel gravel in Georgia heat. No. Yeah.
That's some endurance and character building right there. Oh my goodness. Well, you said radio. What sort of radio were you in? Like
Punk show.
a punk show.
I did punk show, yeah. Terrorist radio, which I'm afraid of Homeland Security. Oh, yeah, no, we had a great time.
Are you still based in Georgia?
No, I'm in Nashville now.
You're in Nashville now.
Yeah, I got too many crazy relatives down in Georgia. No.
Arm's length, enough arm's length, a few states over.
Yeah, no, it's like, y'all stay down there. Yeah.
Well, so you moved to Tennessee then, you said? What do you love about Nashville?
Nashville's is a really interesting conclave. I mean, there's a lot of culture up there, and it's a beautiful city.
Do you think it's influenced your writing that's coming out now?
Not right.
Not quite yet.
Only the bad series is set there, and had I not lived in Nashville, I probably wouldn't have done that.
Okay.
Just not that I don't love Nashville and didn't love it before, but it's one of those things where it's not too many books are set there, which is kind of strange because given the culture there, you would think there'd be more. But yeah, in terms of the bad series, yes, it did influence that, but not so much anything else.
Well, bringing it back because we're at San Diego Comic-Con 2018. How many Comic-Cons is this for you?
We started coming in 2006.
Okay.
So
That was
I
my
wanted
first
to come.
Comic-Con.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was little though.
Oh yeah. My son was, and the first time I came, they were smaller than me,
Yeah.
and now it's like, great. But yeah, it's been so much fun. Yeah.
I want to say because I went in 06, then I went again in 08, and then I didn't go for a few years. And then as an adult, I started going all the time. I want to say that in one of the grab bags, they were handing out Dark Hunter. Like I think I have my copy still on my shelf. So, I mean, that's kind of like that crazy full circle kind of thing. Well, we just want to say thank you for sitting down with us. This was such a wonderful interview. Before we go, is there anything else you could tell us that's in the pipeline or anything for the rest of the year that you want to share?
Stygian's coming out, which is Urian's book, and we look really at the bad guys for the first time in depth. So it's going to be really, really cool. I know the fans are really excited.
Is that coming out before the end of the year?
It'll come out in August. So yeah.
Well, look,
Just a
it's
few
like in
weeks
a month.
away. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. This was so wonderful. Thank you for sitting down with us. All right, you guys, you're watching JeanBookNerd. This is Rachel. Have a wonderful day.